Hello and welcome to another episode of DoubleLine's Perspectives. My name is Carl Compton and I am on the Client Portfolio Management Group here at DoubleLine. Today, I'm joined by Portfolio Manager Mariya Entina, who heads up our investment grade corporate bond team. So our topic for this episode is going to be artificial intelligence. So just to kick it off, Mariya, could you tell us how you organize your thoughts on artificial intelligence?
I really like to think about this in terms of a metaphor of an athlete in training. So you have your brains, your body, your gym, and your food. So the brains are the large language models. So think OpenAI's ChatGPT, Anthropic's Cloud, Google's Gemini. Then you have your body, and that is the advanced semiconductor chips made by the likes of Nvidia, Intel, AMD. Then you have your gym, that's the data centers. And lastly, you have food. And so that is electricity, which is generated by large utility companies like Dominion Energy, AEP, and the Southern Company.
Okay, so when I turn on the TV and I see OpenAI this, Nvidia that, are these all the investments out there, or are there other areas that you think are being really overlooked by the investing community?
These are definitely hot topics and hot names within the space and within this theme. But for investment grade corporate credit investors, I think the most promising and compelling opportunities are the subordinated bonds of regulated utility companies. And so these are large, high quality, highly regulated companies that are charged with essentially increasing their energy production and improving their transmission and distribution lines going into data centers. And so the reason we like the subordinated bonds in particular are they are priced like lower quality debt, so they're higher yielding, providing more income for investors, but are associated with much lower risk of default.
Okay, that's really interesting. It sounds like a lot of changes are happening there and across the AI spectrum as a whole. So where are you seeing the most changes?
So going back to that metaphor, I'm definitely going to say the gym here.
Okay.
And so that's the data centers. Historically, they've been funded by the cloud compute companies, so your Microsofts and Amazons of the world. However, the demand for data centers has increased so much that it's really exceeding their cash generation ability. And so we've seen a diversification by them and other data center developers in terms of how to fund this. And so what we've seen is a proliferation of asset-backed securities, ABS, and commercial-backed mortgages, CMBS. So if you want to dig in more on that topic, I suggest you check out my colleague Stefan's video from December 2024 on this topic.
Got it. So speaking of proliferation, I'm noticing that we're seeing huge changes in the AI sphere and just the trend has totally changed. What are you seeing as the major implications of this huge change?
Big picture, I really do see this impacting the nature of work and how humans interact with machines. So I think one, and this is a fear for many people, that AI automation will replace some jobs. And we do believe that to be the case. However, we also think it will augment labor, where AI will empower humans to have higher quality and faster work. And so when we look at tangible examples, what I mean on the automation side, you have companies like Bell Canada, which is the largest internet provider in Canada. They have adopted AI and now are having self-installs of internet of 90% of their customers, which is huge. Then they have a generative AI chatbot, which is now resolving 50% of customer inquiries. And they have this virtual AI repair tool, which has reduced calls into their centers by 1.2 million since 2022. On the augmentation side, it's a little different. We can look at a company like Intuit. They're a large software maker of tax and accounting software. So on their Expert Plus AI for accounting, they are seeing a reduction of setup time of 60%. And on the tax preparation side, 20% less time spent on tax preparation by their experts, which gives them more time to spend with their customers.
That's really interesting. So I know you've been talking to the CTO. I've heard you've been working on some projects. So is there anything that you're allowed to share with us today that you're working on here at DoubleLine?
Totally. This is my favorite moonlighting project. We are actually working on a tool to help the fundamental credit analysis process to augment what our analysts are already doing. So the tool will help us comb through and process and analyze far more data than before and allow the analysts to spend more time doing what they do best.
So it sounds like we'll have to keep our eyes peeled to see AI and how it evolves and continues to change the world we're living in today. So that wraps up today's episode of Perspectives. If you have any questions about anything that happened here or at DoubleLine as a whole, please email us at info@doubleline.com. Thanks again and have a great day.